looking at an NVIDIA Quadro or an AMD Fire Pro type class of GPU. In our upcoming 2.7 release, where we support DirectX, we will be supporting the AMD Radeon, so the consumer level card for quad buffer stereo, although GeForce isn't quite there yet, so that probably won't make the 2.7 release. From a programming perspective, our software development kit is a collection of C++ classes, and a lot of the examples that you'll see in this talk are C++ based, although we don't really use a whole lot of C++ features in these examples. We also have in our upcoming 2.7 release a simplified C interface to the SDK. So if you have a fairly straightforward use case for your application, the C interface may be enough to get what you need out of the system. Okay, in the first webinar, we talked about application steps. Basically, the steps needed by an application in order to port to the zSpace platform. We're going to use that same format in this webinar, but we're going to aim it at the actual code you would need to write to actually do those things. So as in the first webinar, the first step in order to get a zSpace app up and running is you need to make your application enabled for stereo rendering. So that's the first thing that we'll look at. So here's your first bit of code. The first thing that you need to do from an application standpoint, and again, this is OpenGL specific, DirectX is slightly different, is you need to, after you create the window that you want to render your 3D graphics into, you need to tell that window that it needs to allocate stereo resources.